As India comes to terms with the new tax order, ET now gets you the only voice that matters. In his first and only interview after the mega GST launch, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley says India cannot afford to have a single rate structure, although he sees a convergence of several slabs going forward. The FMLA's fears over the stringent anti-profiteering law tells ET now that the clause will be used only in the rarest of rare cases, and that too as a deterrent against price aberrations. Argues that the clause will prove to be more efficient. The market jumps the most in a month, fueled by the GST rollout. 9,600 conquered yet again. The Sensex reclaims 31,000, led by brisk buying in FMCG. ITC surges 6%, posting its biggest single-day gain in over a year. As India copes with the fear of the unknown, the Revenue Secretary Hasmukh Adhia rules out any disruption due to non-registration businesses. In an 8-point myth buster, he says that the next net tax outgo remains more or less the same. It's a reality check on the impact of GST sectors. Across sectors, our reporters get you ground reports from over 10 locations in the country to find out how traders and small businesses are coping with the new order and find out, more importantly, what's in it for you, the consumer. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to News First Weekend at 5 p.m. And as India comes to terms with the new tax regime, we at ET now have been at the forefront of the GST coverage. This is your GST headquarters right here at ET now, and over the next 30 minutes, we will get you ground reports from across the country. So let's not waste any time and bring on board all of our colleagues joining in. Ruchi Bhatia, Pooja Sarkar, Tushar Chakrabarti, Anubhati Gaur, Rahul Dayama and Shabir Ahmad, as well as Mir Farid, joining in for a 360-degree view on the GST impact across the nation. Well, I'm going to start off with you, Ruchi, at North Block. 3 days into the regime, the confusion persists between traders, but it seems like North Block has sprung into action to dispel all of those worries. So what kind of clarifications exactly is North Block giving, Ruchi?
3 days into the ambitious goods and services tax, and remember, still there's a lot of confusion that persists among traders, while Finance Ministry on their part have sprung into action. They're, the war room that's there in Finance Ministry is trying to dispel a lot of myths regarding the goods and services tax, and in fact are trying to reach out to traders. Remember, the biggest concern that has come in from traders is on the registration date. The Finance Ministry has gone on to clarify that the existing service tax, excise and VAT payers can continue to register on the website www.gst.gov.in over the next 3 months as well. And apart from that, one can start their business if you have a provisional ID, because that provisional ID will ultimately be your GSTN ID. The second concern is regarding double taxation. Finance Ministry has categorically told traders that there is no need to worry on double taxation. They believe that earlier the cost that one would pay on any good or service would be embedded under the VAT, but now under the GSTN network it will be under the GSTN regime, it will be visible on your bill. So there is obviously not a hike in costs post GST. And lastly, on the issue of filing of returns, remember 3 returns will not have to be filed, only 1 return has to be filed, and in fact you can go ahead and fill in your invoices manually also. One does hope that in the long run all these issues will be able to help the trading community align themselves and comply better to the GST setup.
Now, Anubhati, as India is coping with GST, the chartered accountants see this as a big opportunity. The Prime Minister rather highlighted all of this as well in his press conference and his speech on Saturday. Can you fill us in with more details, Anubhati?
Well, as the biggest tax reform has become a reality, the chartered accountants are trying to figure out what the new taxation would mean for them. We talked to a couple of chartered accountants who told us that now they feel that GST will bring them a bundle of opportunities and also bring them global opportunities. So now they feel that Earlier, they never used to be so much involved with the traders community, but now they will have an indirect interaction as GST will bring down all the intermediaries that used to be involved earlier. So now they will have a one-on-one, and there will be no state-to-state difference, as will be one tax for the entire country. And also most of the chartered accountants have already hiked their fees. It has become 2 to 3 times what it used to be earlier, as GST is a new kind of service that they're providing. So they feel that though GST is supposed to be a simple taxation, yet it is very complicated for the businesses and the common man to understand. So now they will provide more services, and they can also add more value-added services. So earlier, when the indirect taxes used to be involved, there used to be one CA, and there used to be 9 other people just as a sales officer, but now the ratio will rise to 4:9. So the chartered accountants are very happy with the GST, as they feel that this will bring them more opportunities and also bring them more global opportunities.
Okay, thanks very much for giving us those details, Anubhuti. And Tushar, coming to you. With the GST in place, a lot of sectors are assessing the impact on their respective industry, the leather industry in particular, because goods are going to be taxed at 28% under the GST. What's really the mood? Are traders saying it's early to gauge the impact right now? Are they, going to see a normalization? Are they concerned? What's the mood really?
We are here at a leather goods market in Delhi, and where there are not many customers here at this point of time. We've been speaking to a number of traders to get a sense of how they feel that the leather goods industry will be impacted as the GST has rolled out. Now remember, under the GST, most of the manufactured leather goods have been put under the 28% tax slab, which means that they have gotten the luxury goods tax. Now this can be expected to have a certain kind of a dampening on the as far as the sale of leather goods is concerned. But the traders here majorly believe that some bit of clarity and understanding is required to get a better sense of how sales will react under the GST. The traders to whom we have spoken, out of them some have already registered under the GST network and have gotten their GST numbers, while most of them are still awaiting their GST numbers, which is a crucial part of availing input tax credit. The traders believe that as the things pan out, as 1 or 2 quarters roll by, things will get more crystallized, and they'll get a fair sense as to how their sales as well as the revenue figures are reacting under the GST. As of now, the traders are in a wait and watch move, and we have to do the same until and unless a better and a clearer picture emerges as to what is the fate of leather goods under the new tax regime.
Meantime, Pooja, as GST kicks in, happy days for truck drivers because the wait time to bring the goods to the city stands reduced. Octroi agents are now out of the way, so no extra costs for that. Give us a sense as to what the mood really is. It's going to be happy people there.
Do you see a barren land behind me? That used to be completely full with trucks, and with Octroi agents. There were around 45 offices here, around 55 offices here. We spoke to some of the officials, senior officials at the Octroi office. They've been asked to vacate the entire office within a month's time, and there's some 140 people who are working here who will be now, one of the implications of GST is now the entire officials used to work with the government in the Octroi office now will be reallocated. But if you see the road there, you would see that it's just moving very clearly. So earlier, trucks used to take around 3 hours, 2 hours to 3 hours minimum. They used to stand there, they used to get their papers cleared and then go ahead. Now you see the traffic is moving very smoothly, and yes, here Octroi agents are trying to take up their case because now they're rendered jobless. But as you can see, things are moving very good over here, at least with truck drivers. And also companies used to pay these agents before the entire toll was paid to the BMC. And also this toll naka that we are standing at, we're standing at this check post at Mumbai Panvel Highway, and the revenue per day here was 3 crores. So we can say at least 3 crores was something that is the government, the BMC used to get from this toll post alone. Now that revenue is not going to come, but the state is going to pass on that revenue. But yes, all in all, the officials who are working here are a little unhappy because they have to now move out to different offices. They have to give an exam apparently and then get into a new job. But they're good days for companies because they don't need to pay their agents, and also traffic is moving smoothly.
Thanks for that, Pooja. Meantime, in Tamil Nadu, the talks between the theatre owners and the producers has failed. That's led to a shutdown indefinitely across the movie halls, with more than 1,000 theatres remaining closed starting today, as owners are protesting the lack of clarity on the ticket prices after GST implementation. Shabir Ahmad joins in right now and give us a ground report over there.
The entire film industry is shocked. The Producers Council has urged the Theatres Association to revoke their strike to put an end to this ongoing agitation. And what has shocked the new producers and directors is the fact that this strike has come out from nowhere in the blue because this was all suddenly the Theatres Association decided that they will be going for a protest because they simply can't run the theatres. In fact, they can't even manage to run the theatres with so much of tax. 58% of tax is being imposed, both GST and the municipal tax, the entertainment tax. And this has caused massive impact on the theatre industry. And one thing is very clear, that the theatre owners are in no mood to relent. They want either the state government or the central government to resolve their issue. And unless that happens, the theatres will not be opened, is what the word that we are picking up from the theatre owners, because this is a decision that has been taken unanimously. The state government is imposing 30% entertainment tax. GST is 28% for big theatres, and for small theatres it's 18%. So by and large, the theatre owners are paying taxes somewhere between 48 to 58%, and this is causing them huge losses. And they say that they simply can't run theatres. And on the other hand, the Producers Council is asking theatre owners to revoke this particular strike.
Okay, and let's take it across to Bangalore now. And it seems like visiting malls won't be the same because there's different tax rates that are going to impact customers from eating out to shopping. Things are likely to only get costlier. So, Rahul, you're doing a roundabout. Tell us about the mall experience, because in Bangalore, at least, it seems to have changed.
I'm outside the Garuda Mall in Bangalore, one of the most popular malls. I really went around visiting a lot of stores, each and every floor, to sort of understand the impact that GST would have on your mall visiting experience. Why would you really come to a mall? Would be one, to watch a movie. So if you're in Bangalore, that is entertainment tax was previously at about 30%. Now movie tickets above 100 rupees are taxed at 28%. So marginal difference really that malls are have already started passing on to consumers, a very marginal difference. Eating out here, especially in Bangalore, again has got a little costly, while VAT and other charges were about 5.5 to 8% now. Eating at non-AC restaurants is taxed at 12%. So that's the increase that restaurants are already passing on. As far as AC restaurants are concerned, that's at about 18%, almost was what was before. Coming to retail stores, and that's really where the action is. And we told you previously about it as well. A lot of these retail stores are still continuing with the GST discounts. So buy two get two offers up to 80% discount on various merchandise. All of that really continuing at the mall. Several stores, not a single store that does not really have the discounts going on. So the discounts are on. As far as the impact on your pockets is concerned, I spoke to a lot of retail store managers who say that for now they are not passing on the benefit of the price increase of the branded apparel. They will wait. So in the coming weeks, it is when the price differentiation would really be passed on. So cinema tickets to some extent slightly cheaper. Eating out has got costly in Bangalore. If you're in Mumbai or Delhi, in Mumbai, if you're watching this, your movie going experience is going to get cheaper because it was 45% before. In Delhi, it would increase. So remember, a lot of the state taxes were levied before. So some more time to know the real impact of prices, but the excitement at malls as far as discounts are there continue.
Okay, thanks very much for that in-depth report in Bangalore and giving us a sense of what's going on in some of the other cities. Mir, I'm going to take it across to you now. Jammu and Kashmir, the only state which has not been seen GST's implementation. In fact, there were reports of some skirmishes there earlier. So what exactly is the situation right now in Srinagar?
Even as the GST was implemented in most parts of the country from 1st of July, the state of Jammu and Kashmir missed the deadline. Various reasons for that, but one important reason is the attempt to politicize the tax already we've seen not only separatists but even mainstream opposition coming out and trying to politicize the issue, claiming that the implementation of GST will further erode the special status enjoyed by the state of Jammu and Kashmir. While that is one aspect, you also have the traders who claim that this tax is going to ensure that they'll face a lot of issues, and there could also be a case where there could be double taxation. They want certain clarity, certain points that they need the government to really come clean on. But as of now, it seems that the Mehbooba Mufti government is on the back foot on the issue, because we've seen in the past that such issues have all the potential to snowball into a major crisis in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. That's why the government right now is trying to build consensus. And the fact is that there is a special session of the assembly that has been convened from 4th of July, where the government is hopeful that they'll be able to pass the GST, and that would be implemented in the state of Jammu and Kashmir after 6th of July.
All right, thank you so much to our entire team for joining in and giving us a live ground report from the on-ground situation in various cities and what exactly they are doing to ensure smooth transition with the new tax regime which has been implemented. In fact, let's also listen into some big voices from the industry speaking about GST.
Overall, one thing is very, very clear, and that is, when you simplify the business of doing business, then entrepreneurial skills will definitely take over, and that is likely to improve our GDP growth rate. That is very certain. It will enthuse foreigners to do more business in India. It will increase internal trade. There are estimates that it will increase by 25 to 30%. There are estimates that external trade will increase by perhaps 30%. Overall, I think this reform, which is an extremely important one, for which every Indian must be grateful to this government, is likely to have a huge impact on our economy.
Yeah, I think that is quite clear that a large amount of parallel economy or the informal economy will be part of the main economy, and that will definitely give boost to GDP. Now, whether it will be 2% or 1% or 3%, that I can't comment, but I'm sure the government has done its numbers, and 2% it would be.
We have to be prepared for a short-term impact. I think most companies have had impact in terms of sales in the month of June. To some extent, this will continue to the next quarter. The smaller traders, the smaller distributors, the trade wholesalers who are not IT savvy, they may face a certain challenge.
This will bring about a lot of changes in the way we do business, and everybody does business in this country. India is a huge country, 29 states, 1.3 billion people, and a lot of traders, a lot of small and medium enterprise, and this GST will bring about changes in the way they do business.
I can't give you a figure on what the growth rate would be enhanced, because it depends on exactly how the rest of the economy is functioning. So it's not GST per se, but the GST would certainly help us to execute any policies that we announce in terms of taxation or revenues and so on, which has something to do with the fiscal system.
Over the medium term, our estimation in Finance Commission was that there could be a fiscal burden on the central government relative to the state governments, because they have to compensate. But we still felt that the central government has enough flexibility and headroom in its finances to be able to do that. So I would say that in terms of the structure over the medium term, it is bound to be successful.
This is a big deal for India. I mean, let's not reduce the value of this particular tax reform. It's been a long time coming. Many governments have worked on it at different stages, and this is overall a good thing for the country, for the economy. Is it in the best possible shape it should have been in? Probably not. Do we need all the theatrics? Maybe not. But there is no doubt that in terms of the contribution to the economy, you cannot have a better system where we move more to a unified system where there's not like a myriad set of taxes all over India, but at least a common set of them. The set is slightly bigger than we would like it to be.
Of course, we would like a simpler GST over time, and of course, we'd like a wider base. But the fact is, after the GST, what we're going to get is a common market for the first time of goods and services. So I think having a common market will have huge productivity benefits down the line. I think allocative efficiency of investment will increase sharply. Transportation costs and efficiencies will improve dramatically.
And on that note, we're completely out of time right here on the show. Thanks so much for watching. Keep it with ET Now.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/ETNow.